that they will be able to pay their own way, and they're going to make up for our shortcomings and interest. That's no assumption to make, and that's no pressure to put on them. So it's completely a mistake to, just ethically, to expect someone else to pay for us. Now, so what to do about it? Well, the most practical thing, it seems to me, is to go back to the policies we had in 1999 and 2000 when we had a balanced budget. It seems like faraway times now, but I remember in the decades leading up to 1999 and 2000 when we had constant deficits over and over and over again. And we finally got good policies together, and ready at least to go to the first President Bush, who realized that raising taxes was going to jeopardize his re-election chances, did it because he thought it was the best for the country, and he was defeated in his election, but it set us on a revenue course where when we had more responsible legislation in 1993, 1997, where we got our costs under control and we had our revenue stream starting to match, we put ourselves on a pay-as-you-go basis where every bill that comes before Congress must include in the bill the way to pay for it, either by increasing taxes or cutting spending from another program. That's part of the legislation. That's responsible, that's discipline, and we had it done, and we had balanced budgets. And at that time, in 2000, the percentage of our economy that we were paying in taxes was 21%. So we're paying 21%, and I bet you if you would have gone to the houses around here and asked in 1999-2000, are you happy with the budget policies of the federal government? Finally, I mean, they would have said, finally, they've got it right. I mean, we're in balance. It's taken all this time, but we've done it. And revenue was 21% of the economy. Well, of course, we had 9/11. 9/11, hurt the airline industry and other industries. We had the Bush tax cuts intended to spur the economy back. Right now, our revenue is 15% of our GDP, and now we're in the hole $1 trillion. So I mean, the most logical thing for me to do is go back to the time when everybody was happy and agreed, and go to policies similar to those and reinstitute them. So that would be the first thing. I would also not expect everybody to agree with me if I'm able to get into Congress. I know I'm going to have to compromise and collaborate with them. I would support the Simpson-Bowles plan. I think there are problems with it. I would support a program developed by Senator Domenici and Alice Rivlin. I don't agree with everything in it. I would vote for it. Even it does have a premium support plan. So this is, as long as it's done properly, that kind of gets control over our Medicare costs. So we need to be able to collaborate. The main thing that's driving our deficit now is the Republicans and the Democrats can't agree with each other. And so if it was only Republicans in Congress, we'd have a Republican budget, and we could hopefully then on a path towards a balanced budget. If it was only the Democrats, then it would be different, but we'd eventually get to balance, but they can't agree. But they did agree when we had the debt ceiling crisis that led to a policy called the fiscal cliff, which is we're now facing, and maybe you've heard of. And it's got a lot of problems. It doesn't address entitlements at all. I would still think that we should, however, it does cut the deficit dramatically. We're going to have about a $1 trillion deficit now if we don't have these policies. If we do have them, it's going to cut it in about a half. And so, and it's already law. So I think that we need to allow the fiscal cliff policies to take place. That would include the termination of the Bush tax cuts in their entirety, and that would tend to slow our economy down. So we may need to have a short-term stimulus, such as a 2% payroll tax. But as long as we, in this short-term stimulus program, we have a pay-as-you-go discipline, and we pay for it by future tax cuts or cutting other programs, which I would also think that we should do. This is the policy that I would recommend. And if we don't start to pay our own way, then the people that we're borrowing money from are going to stop believing that we're going to pay them back. And And that's exactly what happened in Greece and Spain. And youth unemployment, right with the T-shirt.